The Steerswoman is a 1989 novel by Rosemary Kirstein. This is the story of Rowan the Steerswoman. Steerswomen originally having their ties to the sea, but these days they are a group of knowledge seekers, which are not restricted to the sea. These scholars are often out in the world learning and have a certain high status from most people, as they will answer any question put to them as best as they can. These are the thinkers. Or as thinkers ask the same in return, though. Anyone who declines to answer a steerswoman will be under a ban, where they cannot ask the steerswoman any questions. At odds to the steerswoman are the wizards, who hoard knowledge for power rather than knowledge's sake. It's pretty obvious from the start the magic of wizards is a science fantasy vein. It's really just science, it's just not completely understood. The steerswomen themselves feel like some proto-scientists in a world that is mysterious and largely unmapped. Also with cool bits of lore like the world being round, but also the cultural bit of alliterative verse from the outskirters. That's actually well done. We get an example of that at the beginning of the book. The story starts as Rowan is near the edge of the inlands, near the outskirts. At a tavern, she is looking for information about these interesting gems. They have a particular distribution in time that they arrived in this distribution. How they got there is she wants to figure it out. That's her quest, but it turns deadly as she is ambushed by men, dragons, and more. Other characters include Asala, Atis, Belle, and Will, as well as some wizards and steerswomen, and steersmen, actually, as there are a couple of them. It's not a fast-paced book, though it is rather short. More happens for traveling and conversation than combat. There's also fiery and fast action occasionally. There is torture, which the author has talked about. It's talked about surgically in the book, but more important, literarily detached. It's rather literally detached and uncaring, though not completely, as one character is resolute, but squeamish, and the other, in quotation marks here, savage, and excited about it. That shows a bit of age, I think, on the book, but otherwise it reads kind of modern in a sense, even though the 80s wasn't that long ago. Besides, it's surprisingly contemporary, though. The women are warriors. There's nothing really sexual in the book, but sex is kind of openly discussed, and even a little bit of homoeroticism isn't really questioned. Kirsten is skilled in showing very certain characters, and they're very particular, right? You're not going to confuse these characters. And since we get the perspective of someone like Will, we really do see character growth and depth and changes in perspective that work really well. It kind of remind me of some Lynn Abbey character work. Overall, it's a fun, almost sword and sorcery book. It is late 80s, so it's, again, kind of more science fantasy, typical of the time, but a bit more cerebral, a bit laid back, kind of on the literary bent of things. So definitely enjoyable, and I believe there are 3 other books, and I am looking forward to getting to those. So anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I will catch you next time.